Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I don't know if everybody knows that Lord of the Rings Rise to War has already been released for 1 year. Now, although I am not part of the original group of gamers who started playing this, I have been playing this for more than half a year already, and I have accompanied you already through several seasons and have met with many like-minded friends who've all enjoyed this game together, and I've spent such a good time with such a great community. And so many things have changed. So today I will take a look at how the game has changed with the commanders in this 1 year. So on the 7th of December 2021 and the 2nd of November 2021, Khamul's skills for poison damage and Sauron's skill for Overlord, both of which increased focus damage, were added. Evade is a skill that many commanders have, and like Khamul, who has a skill that doesn't allow people to dodge his attacks, but also has a skill that allows him to dodge attacks himself. This skill adjustment greatly enhanced the focus damage and hit rate of Khamul and Sauron on opposing enemy commanders, which can be considered a big force multiplier for the bad guys. Alright, moving on to the next one. Chilling Edge is a skill against enemy army and commanders, which deals minus 4.2% speed, which has been adjusted to drain 140 damage from the enemy commanders. And this effect decays each round, from slowing down the enemy to cutting their focus damage. This is increasing the undying damage reduction to the enemies. The speed only affects the enemy's strike order, so if I had to choose one, I'd go for the undying focus damage, especially against Sauron, who is a focus damage commander. Next up, we have the delayed play skill, which against 2 enemy targets deals a powerful 114.2% poison damage. Once adjusted to, the damage takes effect on round 6, and this effect can't be cured or avoided. And this skill has been adjusted to activate the skill earlier and also to have a higher hit rate. By launching earlier, you can kill more enemy soldiers earlier, thus protecting your own soldiers. And the hit rate is 100%. However, if your commander is good enough to fight your opponent in PvP to round 6 or higher, then this skill is useful. It's not good enough compared to other skills though. So we'll move on and look at the other ones. Next up, we have King Under the Mountain skill. And against commanders, it has a plus 1% to might, and that is adjusted to work against 1 enemy target, dealing 210% physical damage and increase allied dwarves defense by 15. And it can also be stacked 5 times. So this skill has been modified from adding Commander Might, which is a physical damage, to adding more physical damage, as it stacks and adds a defense bonus to dwarves. But it's pretty obvious what kind of soldier the commander should take, and obviously that's dwarves. This is arguably a restriction on troop types, but it is also a way of leading the players and letting them know what types of troops, for example, Dane, the second, Ironfoot, and Thorn, are suitable for this skill. Next, we have the Detect Weakness skill, which is adjusted to Dwarven Grit. So the commander originally has a 25% chance to gain a plus 14.2% damage, which changed to the commander's first 4 instances of skill damage in each battle is increased by 50%. Now, before the adjustment, the damage increase was a probability event, and the bonus was not really that large at all. But after the adjustment, the damage bonus is a sure thing. And with Dane, the second, Ironfoot, and Thorn's other 3 skills being damage bonuses, as long as the commander has a triggered damage skill each round, then arguably every round can have a stack of damage bonuses. So, wow, that is pretty cool. Now, this tweak is almost all about increasing skill damages And it's kind of fair to both the good and bad commanders, but I still think it is a bit biased towards the good commanders. Now following on the 21st December 2021, Betrayer now gives all ally units a plus 1.4% damage. And the King of the Dead skill, Betrayer, means both parties cannot be able to recover HP and cannot be cured. It's a nice change, but I seem to find that this skill didn't really change anything, so just ignore it. And next, the Undying skill, Second Wind. All allied units can recover HP but cannot recover HP again afterwards based on adding cannot cured. This is the healing function of the Undying and preventing every 4 rounds on. So if this skill is max level, then the enemy cannot allow units to recover HP on their side because the commander has the ability to remove negative skills. Now, overall, the skills are more restrictive to yourself, and only at the full level can you really restrict your enemies. On the 25th of January 2022, Kieran is an amazing commander. So it's rare that a commander will just get swapped out a whole skill tree in a later commander update, which happened to Kieran. You can also say that this is a commander that has been changed by the players. Either the players suggested the change or the players played it out beyond its original design. Now, with enemy ranged units, it can only cause minimum damage and increase speed, which is adjusted to all enemies each round to deal minimum damage. After the skill is adjusted, the range of the affected enemies will become larger, with more melee units, while the bad camp soldiers are mostly melee units. So although it can be said that it was specifically adjusted to deal with the bad camp, but that's how the good camp and the wyvern soldiers types are, you know? So also it removes the speed effect. So the old skill is completely targeted at the good camp cavalry, as they are ranged and high speed units. The next skill is the shield training skill, which gives ranged units a minus 2% damage received, which will be replaced by phalanx, which gives melee units the decreased physical damage. And it seems that the original skill was really targeted at cavalry, but the modified skill is now more targeted at melee units. So maybe the devs wanted Kieran to change the type of attack on enemy soldiers. Who knows, right? So that was the design and the new skills. All right, so moving on, the next skill is Marshal of the East Mark. Now, this skill gives melee units a chance to reduce damage received, and its following two skills, Quick Scan skill, increases damage received when against 2 enemy targets during combat, and also has a chance of being stunned each round. The tribal tactics for Evil Man have a chance of attacking twice. And these 3 skills are replayed by Master of War Chariot, Absolute Leader, and Tribal Man. After the modifications, Master of War Chariot has instead narrowed down the range of troop types that can be bonused. It seems that the developers really wanted to make the troop types that Kieran can use and are good at attacking a little more prominent, which is also, this can solve the difficulty of players choosing troop types, so it's a good thing. One of the 2 skills below is now a physical damage bonus, and the other is just a name change. Neither of which feels like a big change, except that Evil Man now might be better suited for Kieran. But unfortunately, the stun skill is just no longer available, or Kieran could be better. This time, it's King of the Dead. The second time the commander will be updated, 3 skills at a time. Although last time nothing seemed to be updated at all, so we'll see what this time is. Next is Men of the Mountain skill, meaning the King of the Dead's might will increase during combat. Allied and enemy units deal minimum damage. The might bonus becomes a focus bonus, and the other words seem to just change the expression. The incorporeal skill changed from enemy commander's might and focus minus by 1% to a focus damage bonus. Now, Army of the Dead skill, which is undead speed plus 1.3 and gains stun immunity during combat, becomes a HP recovery. Now, dead men of Dunharrow, allied undeads, will be decreased damage received, and other allied and enemy races will increase damage received. This skill just isn't much of a change, but it's just a change in the description. Now, overall, developers are trying to turn King of the Dead into a main focus damage commander, and it will be a big bonus to undead units. On the 1st of March 2022, this time it's our old friend again, Kieran, who is also an old friend of the developers. Check out what's been changed this time. Alright, so Sandstorm skill. Against 2 enemy targets randomly gains one of the following debuffs. Minus 7.1% damage or stunned for 1 round. This is a change from stun to madness, and it's a very different story as well, because stun is about your own damage while madness is about the damage of others. If I had to choose, I'd go for madness, so the enemy gets 2 attacks in 2 rounds. Now, Beruthiel's skill, Exile, has the chance to inflict stun in the first 2 rounds against 1 enemy target, and this skill is adjusted to cause 2 targets to be affected. And the next skill, just change the name Thranduil's 2 skills, which is Wrath of Mirkwood and Full Hear of Greenwood the Great. They both have increased in value, and one increased the probability of being able to receive a heal, and the other increased the damage of the first attack, which is no doubt a boost to the commander's abilities. On the 12th of April 2022, Arson against 2 enemy targets deals burn damage attack twice. Each separate attack chooses a different target, which adjusted to survival barrier. Now, a burn damage bonus becomes a life recovery, weakening the commander's damage, but also extending the length of the fight. The Uruk-hai Elite gets a plus 1% commander might and plus 1% speed. This skill was originally all about the bonus to commanders, but then the speed bonus was screwed up into a defense bonus for orcs and the Uruk-hai units. And this has been a very obvious troop type guide, and the Lurtz is better suited to orcs and Uruk-hai units. Half Elven gain either plus 2% might or plus 2% focus during combat, and that's adjusted to all allies for plus 10% defense for each allied men unit present, and plus 10% damage dealt for each allied Elven unit present. This is also an adjustment to the troop guide. This adjustment will cause the commander's troop type to be limited. Except for the men unit and Elven unit, what else can you take? With the coalition, men and elf attacks have about a 10.7% chance to cause maximum damage. And this tweak is further breaking down the skills again. You want to strike first and deal big damage to your opponent. Then you pick the human damage hitting soldier, which is a sharpshooter. That is the perfect fit because he can deal a damage bonus very early on. Now, on the 12th of July 2022, this new adjustment is all about adjusting skills that are active at the full level. But not every skill has been changed to be good. For example, Black Numenorian, a commander's focus damage bonus, but the commander with this skill will be better than his other skills, although the change in fact does not have any effect. The only effect is that the commander with this skill at full level is probably an exclusive commander for evil men. Now, Kieran has once again tweaked his skills. Master of War Chariot has just been updated and tweaked again. It's really not easy to balance commander's skill, so once again, his damage has been enhanced. The next one is Sunun's skill, as she is a new commander with a lot of tweaks, and that's understandable. Overall, it's just upping the commander's damage, defense, and HP recovery. And I guess the values were designed to be just too low at first, causing the commander to be too weak. So that's why they were tweaked. As far as skills are concerned, she is the bad camp exclusive commander, as all her skills are for bad camp soldiers. However, she has gotten stronger. Now, looking at the changes over the year, the developers are trying to make certain commanders are stronger, and I feel that the bad commanders will get more of a boost from the skill modifications. On the other hand, developers have also narrowed down the range of options available to commanders in terms of troop types, which may leave a lot less options. But it also allows certain commanders to have certain attributes that can be more relevant to the enemy. And that's all for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed this. I spent a lot of time writing this and analyzing this, so hope you can leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. We'll see you next time.